Every year, countless hikers and outdoor enthusiasts will flock to our state and national parks all over the country to get away from the stress of everyday life. But even the most experienced of these folks can find themselves in a situation which may prevent them from ever leaving the park. So as the summer ends and the fall begins, many folks will take advantage of those cooler temperatures and smaller crowds. Unfortunately, too many of these individuals will end up missing and may never be found despite extensive search and rescue efforts. Join me as I count down 10 more of the strangest state and national park missing person cases out there. Number 10. In July of 2022, a 44-year-old hiker named Daniel Graham disappeared inside the Lewis and Clark State Recreation Area of Oregon. Around 12:30 p.m., dispatchers received a 911 call from Daniel stating that he had become lost after taking a side trail, but he could see power lines. Deputies with the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office then used open-source satellite imagery to determine Daniel's approximate location and told him to stay put while searchers moved in. But when they arrived, he was nowhere to be found. Along with the Sheriff's Office, the Clackamas County Search and Rescue Division assisted with the effort, but after 12 hours of searching in 100-degree heat, it was called off until conditions could accommodate further efforts. For the next several days, ground teams and drones would be utilized unsuccessfully. Those who knew Daniel stated that he was in good spirits on the morning he set out on the hike, but was really only prepared to be out there no more than a day. Many speculate that Daniel may have sought refuge from the extreme heat by entering the woodline or seeking any water source he could find. As of September 2022, there are no new updates on his whereabouts. Number 9. In August of 2022, a 66-year-old hiker disappeared after becoming separated from his group while hiking inside the Kings Canyon National Park in California. Quang of Newport Beach was last seen between 3 and 4 p.m. on August 24th, near the peak of Split Mountain on the Sierra Nevada crest. Quang's intended plan was to hike to the summit of the mountain and exit on the same day via Inyo National Forest. At some point, he became separated from the group he was traveling with at the base of the summit, but I could not find out any specific information explaining why this happened. The search kicked off on August 22nd, involving Inyo County Search and Rescue, aided by teams of ground searches, canines, infrared imaging, helicopters, and drones. There had also been trail containment and investigations with authorities questioning hikers who were around the area at the time he went missing. Simultaneous searches were led by Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks, as well as the California Coast Guard, Sierra Madre Search and Rescue, the Air Force Rescue Division, Tulare County Sheriff's Office, and Yosemite National Park Rangers. Despite all the agencies and manpower involved in the search effort, no trace of Quang has been found. It was mentioned by the group he was with that Quang was not equipped for anything more than a day's hike, but was feeling optimistic at the time he became separated. I will be watching this case for any new updates. Number 8. In June of 2022, a 21-year-old hiker named Sediki Kibi disappeared inside the Amicalola Falls State Park in Georgia, near the area of the 3600 block of Highway 32. Sediki was reported missing on June 24th after failing to check in with loved ones. Now, there is very little information surrounding his disappearance, so if you have any facts or missing details, do let us know in the comments section below. Well, on the evening of the 24th, Dawson County Sheriff's Office initiated the search effort for Sediki, involving several dozen search and rescue personnel, dog teams, and aerial sources. They conducted 24-hour arduous searches for several days, focusing primarily on Amicalola Falls State Park area. He was last seen wearing a black t-shirt and gray shorts with flip-flops. While as of September, there are no clues pointing to the young man's whereabouts. Number 7. In June of 2019, a 66-year-old man vanished inside the Grand Canyon National Park after going on a day hike to the Narrows region of the area. Peter Schwab was last seen by park staff on June 28th near River Mile 167 on a small beach downriver from National Canyon. He was last seen wearing a tan, full-brim hat, white long-sleeve shirt, gray cargo pants, and sandals. Grand Canyon Rangers conducted numerous searches in the area, but no clues were found. There is very little information surrounding the circumstances behind Peter's disappearance, so fill us in if you have any contributing info. Those involved in the search effort, which included several dozen personnel, search dogs, and aircraft, believe he may have entered the river and drowned. But until further information comes forward, well, we can only speculate. Number 6. In February of 2015, an 18-year-old vanished while setting out on the Haiku Stairs of the Oahu mountain range of Hawaii. Dalen was reported missing by loved ones on February 29th after failing to check in with them at an agreed time. He had been visiting Oahu from the Big Island and notified his grandmother that he planned to hike the banned area known as the Haiku Stairs, or sometimes referred to as Hawaii's Stairway to Heaven. During Dalen's hike, he posted a series of photos on social media from his phone showing his progress. But in one photo specifically, it appears to show an unknown man in very thick brush behind him and just slightly off trail. The image of the man is not clear, but it does appear to show someone poking their head out from behind a limb. Many believe that Dalen grew suspicious of the man, which explains why he took the photo. Yet phone conversations with his grandmother and media posts provided no indication he was being followed or anything else was wrong. Almost immediately after he was reported missing, the search effort began involving the fire department, local volunteers, drone operators, and even the U.S. Navy. On the Monday following his disappearance, 2 hikers reported hearing cries for help, extending the fire department's search another couple of days, but by March 3rd of 2015, the young man could not be located. In the weeks and months following the suspension of the official search, relatives and volunteers continue to look for Dalen, but to this day, he remains missing. Number 5. In June of 2022, a 49-year-old solo hiker named Charles Lyon went missing while visiting Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona. Charles, who was last seen by other hikers in the area, was reported missing by family after failing to check in with them at an arranged time. The National Park Service would soon locate his vehicle abandoned on the south rim of the park near Lyon Trail on June 11th. The 6'3" avid hiker was an experienced outdoorsman, was known to be in good spirits at the time he was missing, and was looking forward to the hike. 4 weeks following the event, National Park personnel, dog teams, and aerial sources conducted backcountry patrols and regularly scheduled helicopter flights. But as sources began to dry up, and with the total lack of clues, the search effort would be suspended by the third week, and as of September 2022, Charles's whereabouts remains a mystery. Number 4. In August of 2022, a 30-year-old man named Blake Strong disappeared while on a family vacation along the Washougal River in Washington State. He was reported missing by family members in the early morning hours of Friday, August 26th, and was at his family's country home along the river. It was noted that Blake suffered a concussion the day before, and some believe this may have caused him to become confused and wander off. Others believe he may have entered the river at the spot where his flotation device was left behind, laying on the shoreline. Witnesses reported seeing Blake walking westward along the riverbank and toward the scene of his injury, possibly to recover a pack of equipment he stashed along the riverside after the concussion. Family members, volunteers, and the Skamania County Sheriff's Office conducted extensive searches up and down the river for miles, including the nearby Washougal River State Park area, where a set of boot prints appeared to enter into. Dive teams, dog teams, aerial sources, and FLIR technology was utilized in the week-long search for the experienced backpacker. But as of September 23, 2022, no other clues have surfaced pointing to the young man's whereabouts. He was last known to be wearing light khaki shorts, a blue zip-up hoodie, a black hat, black boots, and carried a green backpack. Number 3. In February of 2021, a 60-year-old woman went missing during her hike inside the Angeles National Forest of California. Maria Tice was hiking with the group on the Iron Mountain Trail when she became separated between the hours of 11:30 a.m. and 12:15 p.m. as they were nearing the summit. After this, she was never seen or heard from again. This particular hike is known as one of the most strenuous hikes in Southern California, but Maria didn't appear to have any issues prior to her disappearance and was noted as being in good spirits. Though it was not specified how exactly she became separated, her car would eventually be found at the Heaton Flats parking area where she had left it prior to the hike. An extensive search ensued involving several dozen search and rescue personnel from both local and outside sources, including law enforcement, park rangers, and the San Gabriel Search and Rescue Division. Her disappearance baffles many and is a sad reminder of just how easily one can go missing out there if you become separated from your fellow companions. Number 2. In September of 2021, a 60-year-old hiker disappeared within a remote area of Baxter State Park in Maine. Paul Kaluki, an avid hiker, was last seen by other hikers at around 11:30 a.m. on September 8th on the Russell Pond Trail within the park. He was reported missing that evening after failing to check in with friends at an agreed time. Several dozen people, including park rangers, game wardens, and volunteers, combed the area for 2 weeks, but no clues were found. Russell Pond Trail runs north from Roaring Brook Campground on the east side of Katahdin to Russell Pond Campground. This stretch of backcountry is noted as being one of the most remote sections of the park. By October 3rd of 2021, the search would be suspended. Number 1. In May of 2022, a 20-year-old student from Northern Arizona University went missing during a hike inside the Oak Creek Canyon near the Slide Rock State Park in Sedona, Arizona. Alex Brugary had been hiking with a companion when they became separated near the top of the trail. Now, I was unable to find any specific information explaining how or even why this occurred, but Alex was noted as being in good mental and physical condition at the time he became separated. After the friend contacted authorities, the Coco Niño Sheriff's Office arrived on scene to begin their search. By the following day, more search and rescue arrived, as well as several dozen volunteers to help aid in the search for Alex. Search efforts focused primarily both on the A.B. Young Trail and the Slide Rock State Park areas, but by week 2, no clues were found and sources began to run out. By June 15th, the search was suspended, and as of September 21st, 2022, Alex remains missing. And there you have it. Just 10 more of the strangest state and national park missing person cases out there. So if you too find yourselves itching to have some last-minute outdoor adventures, well, you may want to take these cases into consideration before doing so. Thank you for joining me, and subscribe for more content. And remember, folks, safety before fun.